Hello, my name is Erin Bromley, and I am completing the introduction for my participation video for my Master's of Education at Lamar University. I am currently a 9th grade biology teacher at North Shore 9th Grade Center in the Galena Park School District. I chose to complete the participating video option number 1. I will interview a cross-section of staff and faculty members regarding the perspective of the campus vision in these areas. The first question I will ask is, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision? The second question is, how are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? The third question is, how the campus uses innovative thinking, risk-taking, and failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision. The fourth question is, what processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus towards the realization of the campus vision? I also added 2 more questions to the list. I will ask what the campus vision is, and would you change anything about the campus vision? I have chosen to interview 5 staff members. I thought this would give me a good insight of what the perspective of the campus vision with the staff. The first interview is with Mrs. Hurtado. She's our school librarian and does a lot for our campus. She was an English teacher for several years and has been the librarian for 8 years. She is very involved with all the campus activities and helps promote the campus vision. She works directly with the administrators and is the key communicator between the administration and staff. The second interview is with Mrs. Gordon. She has taught biology for 7 years and has her master's in counseling. She is a science department communicator between the teachers, so she fills in as a department head when they are not available for meetings. She is very positive and outgoing on campus. Ms. Gordon is a PTA representative and communicates with parents on a weekly basis. The third interview is with Mrs. Powers. She is a first-year math teacher. I really wanted to interview a first-year teacher to compare her campus vision with the veteran teachers. She's very active on campus and wants to be involved in all the extracurricular activities. She is always smiling and keeping the morale positive at school. The fourth participant is Mrs. Hunter. She is a certified biology teacher and an aspiring administrator. She has her master's in educational leadership with a minor in special education. She is bilingual in Spanish. She has worked in several school districts. This is her 8th year teaching, and she also fills in as an administrator when needed. She is our Region 4 representative and also on the curriculum team. The 5th interview is with Mr. Basham. He currently is an acting administrator in the morning of school and teaches 2 classes in the afternoon. He just completed his Master's of Educational Leadership this year and will hopefully be hired as a full-time administrator next year. He has taught business communication for 9 years I feel this section of staff will give me a worthy perspective on what the faculty's perspective of the campus vision is. Here are my interviews. So the interview question number 1, the questions will be regarding your perspective on the campus vision. So question number 1 is, what is the campus vision?
I think our campus vision is to create lifelong learners that seek out opportunities that will make them successful, productive citizens.
Great. Okay. And then question number 2, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
I think the school has various types of recognition to support our staff that are trying to meet our campus vision. For example, we have a monthly newsletter that spotlights several faculty and staff members that have been doing an excellent job. At our faculty meeting, they're also recognized. We have a star wall of fame for teachers. Prizes are also given out to staff members, such as special parking spots and gene passes throughout the month.
Great, thank you. Okay, question number 3. How are the contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
The staff is recognized during weekly department meetings. They're also during faculty meetings and the newsletter. For our community, we do have our call-out system, and we also provide newsletters for them.
Perfect. Okay. And then question number 4.
Can I go back to number 3? I also forgot
Yes.
our website.
Oh, yes, website.
And that's always being updated.
Okay. And then question number 4, how does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Ideas for improvement are usually brought to the leadership team meetings, and then they're discussed there. The leaders usually take it back to their departments, and then plans for action are developed there.
Okay.
And then we bring it back to the leadership team, and then from there we send out this is our plan, this is our vision.
Okay. Great. And then question number 5, what processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus towards the realization of the campus vision?
Morale is a key focus of our administrators, especially this year, I feel like. They try and get everyone's input as to what might make teachers feel happy on a day that they're not feeling too happy and peppy. They try to recognize their departments and acknowledge their hard work and effort as much as possible. And I feel like the staff knows each other well enough here at North Shore to know that what we can do to improve somebody's day or morale on a difficult day.
Great. And then the last question, would you change anything about the campus vision?
I feel like I would like to try and get our vision a little more specific because it's so broad and like I have it memorized because I always write it everywhere, about the lifelong learners, but I feel like, okay, how are we developing lifelong learners?
Right.
So I think if it was just a little more detailed on this is our goal, trying to get kids, to take these classes that'll help them maybe go into like technical fields instead of just assuming that we're all going to go to the 4-year college.
Right.
So I feel like if we had like a little bit more of a detailed vision instead of this broad statement that doesn't really, to us it means something as educators, but I don't think it means the same to our community.
Right.
So,
and if the kids even understand it.
Exactly. They don't know what lifelong learner means.
Right.
So, and our community members either, like our parents, well, what is a lifelong learner? How are we going to achieve that?
Right.
What is it that we're going to do for your kid, your student? So I feel like if that was just a little bit more detailed, and maybe, I know that our campus vision has to be one statement, but maybe under it kind of provide just language that everyone can understand. This is the path. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're trying to do. What we need your help to do. That's what I think would be a good way to make our vision come to be.
Right. Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any more questions for me?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So I will ask you 6 questions regarding your perspective on the campus vision. So question number 1 is, what is the campus vision?
From my understanding, I believe the goal or the campus vision is one team, one goal.
Okay.
It was kind of mentioned, I guess, this year in professional development. So it hasn't really been reflected on a whole lot this year, I don't think. But from my understanding, I think it's one team, one goal.
Perfect. All right. Question number 2. How does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
Sometimes I hear on announcements in the afternoon, they'll do like shout outs. And that's basically just, one teacher will send in something where they express, something that they like about another teacher, just kind of recognize them. Sometimes our campus, they have maybe 2 or 3 teachers of the month. And those are just teachers that, kind of like stood out and, did
At
something
this
on
time,
campus.
all students should be in a tutorial location or at practice. Any student that is found in the school building unaccompanied by an adult is subject to trespassing and can be written a
And
ticket.
we have our...
If you are not planning on staying for tutorials or practice, please make your way out of the building. Thank you, and have a great afternoon.
Okay.
Sometimes
I
we have-
apologize.
Sometimes we have a rookie of the year, too.
Oh,
Let's see, what's some other things? Sometimes every now and then, like maybe an email may be sent out, like about a teacher that has done something. Like an AP may see you in the hall and be like, hey, good job, just like a little pat on the back. And I think I've even seen sometimes where they've recognized teachers on the website. Like, that it may have like their picture out there or something.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, number 3. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
Honestly, I really don't think that they are. I feel like sometimes you have to kind of, find out about it. Like I know once, I saw a certain teacher parking in like a certain parking spot, and I was just like, oh, well, how do you get to park right there? And they're like, well, I'm a teacher of the month. I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't, really know that. So it's kind of, I just happened to hear about it. Sometimes you may hear about, a teacher kind of going with the vision as far as when we have like department meetings, just like through the grapevine. You may hear, oh, well, hey, such and such did this or such and such did that. And then, like if you go into certain parts of like the email or the conference site, you may see certain things there.
Right.
So I just feel like you basically, it's kind of like by surprise that you hear about it. It's not really like communicated.
Right. You almost have to look it up, really, or be looking for it. Okay, great. All right, number 4. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Well, once again, I don't really think that we do those things as a campus, I'll say. But I feel like in our science department that we do have, moments of reflection or times where we go back and we think about, maybe what we did during instruction or classroom management, and we look and see how that has affected the outcome. But I can't say that we do that as a campus.
Right. Okay, and then the last question, number 6. What would you change, if anything, about the campus vision?
I guess maybe the way that we implement it. I feel like it's a good vision, one campus, one goal, but I feel like we don't address it enough. I feel like we'll do it once, like in the back to school letter, like we may hear about it. We hear about it a little bit in professional development. You know, we maybe like stamp it on a T-shirt or anything, but I don't necessarily think it's addressed.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe just like making the teachers feel like more involved and like maybe their opinions matter. I would probably get more input from teachers before making, you know, big critical decisions that actually like affect them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I know they send out surveys, you know, for us to do, especially like at the end of the school year. But I think maybe it would be a good idea to, you know, make it like a little bit more personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe maybe admin should come up and talk to a teacher and be like, well, you know, hey, how are things going for you? Like, do you have any goals that you think, you know, we should focus on? I just feel like maybe it'll be a little bit more, I think that those types of things is what's going to make the teacher actually feel like involved and feel like they actually matter.
Right.
What else? Maybe like a friend of mine, they do this at their campus, but they have like staff outings where they'll like meet up at like a happy hour or, you know, just like some type of activity like outside of school. Or even sometimes they have like a staff like game night, and they'll like you can bring like your family and stuff in like that too. I just think some of those things would.
You just kind of get to know everybody more that way too. Okay, and then I skipped number 5. Sorry. What process are used in improving morale, which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
Well, once again, I think that it doesn't happen like as a campus. I think that it happens more in our department. And we just try to, I guess, celebrate one another. Like in our department meetings, like sometimes we'll celebrate birthdays or, you know, we'll have showers for weddings or babies or, you know, we'll come together like, you know, like if a family member dies. And I feel like that kind of helps with the morale of our team. But I don't really think that necessarily addresses it as the whole school.
Right, so it's like we're one team, one goal, but it feels separated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, the interview questions are regarding your perspective on the campus vision. So, number 1, what is the campus vision?
The campus vision is to excel into academics, especially for your core classes, English and math and science. In world geography, I think academics is important for the school as well as their athletics. So they really want to help the students with just bringing their educational up to par.
Okay. Great. All right. Number 2, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who have implemented strategies in support of the campus vision?
I think the campus, when they support for those who have been using those strategies, is by presenting awards. They announce it during faculty meetings about achievements for a teacher that have done great in a class. They also do acknowledgement even through one-on-ones with their advisor. Personally, I have gotten I've gotten acknowledgement when my advisor came into my classroom and seeing the strategies that I put for my kids with games and different manipulatives and other tools like that. So
Great.
That's something that that's how they recognize teachers.
Okay. All right. Question number 3. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
They, like I said, they do it during faculty meetings. They let also on their website know to parents that this teacher has been achieved in or has achieved in a certain area. They also acknowledge on their district website that teachers have achieved a certain area and been recognized in that certain area through those technologies. And then sometimes through flyers or through other types of social media.
Okay. Great. All right. Question number 4. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
I think that the campus, I think they try new things, especially with new strategies for, to help them achieve First Star. If there's like any failures in terms of not just academic learning, but also in classroom management, there are a lot of trainings that help teachers, try to improve, and they are recommended to take those classes to just to help improve themselves, especially if they're new to the teaching career. So I think that those types of things help with the campus vision, just to be an excelled educational campus. So not just in terms of academics too, but also in classroom management and what kind of expectations are needed here at North Shore.
Great. All right, number 5. What processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
Oh, well, they do like to buy us pizza and food. They like to feed us. Definitely that improves my morale. Like when they feed us, especially when it's free food, I mean, I'm all for it.
Right.
So I do like that. And then just like different prizes that you can win, like especially all that's during like faculty meetings that we can win, like jackets, umbrellas, and like for perfect attendance. They give those types of things out, and I really enjoy that, especially the food.
Yeah.
I said that already. The food.
Exactly. Me too. Okay. And then the last question, it says, would you change anything about the campus vision?
Honestly, if I had to change anything, I say I would change more support for the teachers.
Okay.
More support, and that way the teachers can feel that they're more backed up for their teaching experience, for working, for helping the kids out, and just in general, that would be good for our teacher morale.
Would improve that. Excellent. Thank you so much for taking your time to let me interview you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the interview questions are going to be regarding your perspective on the campus vision.
Okay.
All right, so number 1, what is the campus vision?
This school year, our campus is focused on one team, one goal. And I really like that as a motto because it kind of puts us into the perspective so that we can focus on having everybody on the same accord, working together, working towards STAR, our end of course success, as well as working on making sure that we are in the hallways and doing what we're supposed to do, what's best for students.
Perfect. Okay, and number 2, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
I think that our biggest acknowledgement and recognitions come from either our department or from the campus if we're doing department or faculty meetings. One of the things that the administrators promote for us to do is to be vocal, vigilant, and visible. And so I think that that's a big deal for us to try to implement for our students, because when we're here, we make a difference for our students. When we're vocal about our concerns, we're able to express the things that are needed for our campus. And then just having a sense of vigilance allows us to come together so that if we're all thinking or we're all working towards the same goal, then we can make sure that everybody is accounted for.
Perfect. All right, number 3, how are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
One of the main ways that they communicate on our campus is through newsletters or flyers that are sent home, especially when it comes to testing or major things that are happening like StarCatcher tutorials and things of that nature. They normally will send correspondence home to the students. If it's communication within the staff or amongst the faculty, they do the Remind 101, which allows us to receive messages or information via text message.
Okay. All right, number 4. How does a campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Well, we certainly always use, especially failures and risk-taking, to implement new learning experiences. It allows us to be reflective in our teaching profession. It allows us to be reflective in how we handle disciplinary actions and things of that nature. So I definitely think that the campus utilizes these instances not as failures, but as opportunities for growth, room of improvement, or just analyzing, the character or the characteristics that make that experience not necessarily a bad one, but how improvements can be made from it.
Okay. And then number 5, what processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus towards the realization of the campus vision?
For our campus, I think a lot of opportunities that we have to improve the morale include where we do like potlucks, or we have faculty lunch is sponsored to the faculty, or we'll have a get together as a department. We like to celebrate, amongst the department, especially if we're doing baby showers or weddings or things of that nature. And so that helps to improve the morale so that we're not just coming to work and punching the clock, 7 to 5 or whatever hours we work. Most people get off at 2:30. But it gives us some insight to let us know that we're all human and that we have things that we need to celebrate. And so improving the morale is one of the things that our campus is pretty good about, I think. I think that there are always, recognitions that can be made for birthdays or, weddings or engagements, big announcements of that nature. And those things need to be celebrated so that it's not just the individual who is working in the science department, but they are actually acknowledged that, hey, I'm human and that I have kids and I have things going on for me outside of work.
Right. Okay. And then the last question, it says, what would you change, or would you change anything about the campus vision?
I think that the campus vision is an excellent vision. Again, one team, one goal. However, I think that having a sense of the teaming community kind of makes that more efficient, because in a teaming environment, it allows for 4 different content teachers to work together. And so if you are truly on one team, one goal, then you have a representative from your biology, your algebra, your English, and your world geography team, so that you can work together to make parent phone calls, or you can make teacher-student conferences as well. So I think that if I could change anything about the campus vision, implementing that teaming aspect where we could work together and have all of our subjects working together would help to enforce that one team, one goal.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you 6 questions regarding your perspective on the campus vision. Number 1, what is the campus vision?
Our campus vision this year has been one team, one goal, which entails full student success, but having participation from the faculty and staff so that we're kind of all working together to achieve the goal of passing all of our students and where they need to be at the senior high.
Okay. All right, number 2. How does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
I'd say that we've been very inconsistent with this year. We originally started by having a monthly monthly people that we recognize, whether they're in the halls, or whether they were just diligently working, and we'd kind of make their pictures and put them on the wall, and it was supposed to change every month. I think we did it for the first month, and those people are still on the wall, I think, maybe. So we've kind of not done a very good job of it. We also tried to implement a, what was it, staff of the month, and we were going to give them a parking space out front, kind of by the teacher of the year, and to be the employee of the month, kind of recognizing again performance or whatever they've done that's worthy of recognition. But we've again only done that, I think, twice,
Right.
and that fell off again as well. So
Okay.
we have ideas, but they're not very followed through on.
All right, number 3. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
Again, not very well. I mean, when we have our staff meetings, we will recognize people. For a minute there, we were recognizing departments, letting departments speak about what's going on at the staff meeting, so everybody kind of has a clearer picture of what we do. But as far as to the students or community, I don't really feel like we do anything. We may put a picture up on the website every now and then, but it's not something where the students really know what we're celebrating our staff for, I don't think.
Okay. All right, number 4. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
I would say that our foundations committee kind of uses this, or does this the best, because they're the kind of the ones that are implementing the kind of the backbone, I guess, to how we run things. So they kind of look at policies and procedures, and we're constantly revamping those based on what's working or what isn't. So for example, we started the lunch detention this year, and we were having trouble getting students in, so we've kind of tried to go back and look at ways where we can fix that so that more kids are coming, having more, again, one team, one goal, having more teacher involvement with that. So that, I think, is where we've done the most, I guess, using our failures and our successes to kind of change how we're going to run things, and hopefully be able to improve for next year.
Okay. Awesome. Number 5. What processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
They do little things like Gene days when we have good attendance, or they'll do come around and give everybody an ice cream sandwich for appreciation, or they'll do the hot dog days. And I actually do like those. I like that there's food, of course, but I also think it's nice where we can kind of all go up and sit and eat together, and that to me builds more morale than the actual food itself. It's kind of a fellowship where we can all have lunch and chit chat and kind of blow off some steam together. So I think that they do, and they do this pretty frequently. I think that kind of helps building morale, and the jeans are always nice as well.
Okay. And then the last one. What would you change, if anything, about the campus vision?
I wouldn't change the campus vision itself. I think the vision is great. The one team, one goal, I think there's a lot. I think that if that actually got followed through on and was implemented properly, it would have been very successful. So the only thing I would change would be the consistency of actually following through on the campus vision, making sure that we're holding people more accountable when they're not on board, and doing things to keep people on board, I guess, throughout the year. So
Right.
that we're kind of following through on the vision throughout the school year.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Sure, no problem.
The purpose of my video was to interview a cross-section of faculty and staff members regarding their perspective of the campus vision in these areas. In the interviews, I asked each participant 6 questions. The first question I asked is what the campus vision is. The second question asked was, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision? The third question is, how are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? The fourth question is how the campus uses innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision. The fifth question is what processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus towards the realization of the campus vision. And finally, the last question I asked was, would you change anything about the campus vision? I used the Gibbs reflective cycle to do my reflections on each of the interviews. For stage 1 of the Gibbs cycle is the description. The first interview was with Mrs. Hurtado, the librarian. She has been on our campus for 9 years. She is very involved in campus activities, such as coordinating Gene Passes, contributing to our monthly newsletter, and staff recognition. The second stage of the Gibbs cycle is my feelings. I felt Mrs. Hurtado was very prepared for the interview. She was confident in all of her answers and very descriptive. Mrs. Hurtado completed the interview questions prior to the interview. She also said it made her feel important asking her to do the interview. The third stage of the Gibbs cycle is my evaluation. Mrs. Hurtado used the district vision and not the campus vision. She explained that our campus is to create lifelong learners that seek out opportunities to succeed that will help them become productive citizens. This is our district vision. Our campus vision is one team, one goal. Mrs. Hurtado has a deeper understanding of the campus vision than the other teachers and looked at how we implement the district's vision. The fourth stage of the Gibbs cycle is the analysis. Mrs. Hurtado was very positive and confident in our district's vision. She explained that the school has various types of recognition of staff members that support the campus vision. Staff members are recognized in the monthly newsletters, faculty meetings, and the North Shore Star Wars wall. She also mentioned that prizes are also given out to the staff members, such as special parking spot and Gene Passes. The fifth stage of the Gibbs cycle is the conclusion. My conclusion for Mrs. Hurtado is that the morale is a key focus of our administrators. She said that all the staff knows each other well, but our problem area is to try to get parents and community more involved in our campus vision. The last stage of the Gibbs cycle is the action plan. If I was to interview her again, or the staff again, I would send out a survey of who wanted to interview. Some of the teachers found out that I was doing the interview over the campus vision, and so many others wanted to participate. Teachers are very passionate about their campus vision and have strong opinions on it. The second interview was with Mrs. Gordon. The description is, she is a science teacher and a certified counselor. She has been with the district for 2 years and has taught a total of 7. My feelings over her interview were that she knew the campus vision and did not think our vision is very effective. Mrs. Gordon said that we lacked in communication and succeeding in our campus vision as a whole. The evaluation of the interview was that the campus does a great job of shout-outs, Teacher of the Month, Teacher of the Year, Rookie of the Year, emails, and website recognition, but again lacks in communication and teamwork. The fourth stage of the Gibbs cycle is the analysis. Mrs. Gordon mentioned that each department works as one team, one goal, but not as a whole campus. She said the departments are great at improving the morale and celebrations and meetings, but not as a campus. The conclusion is that Mrs. Gordon doesn't understand why we have a vision if we don't implement it. We do it once and then never again. She mentioned getting more teachers involved and having outings like game nights and social hours. The action plan for Mrs. Gordon's interview would be to ask her more questions. She had a lot of great ideas, and as an inspiring administrator, I was intrigued. The next interview was with Mrs. Powers. She is a first-year algebra teacher. The second stage of the Gibbs cycle was my feelings. I felt that Mrs. Powers was confused about our campus vision. She stated that it was to excel in academics as well as in athletics. I know as a first-year teacher, I wasn't aware of what the campus vision was as well. My evaluation of the interview was that we are great at supporting teachers with awards at faculty meetings or one-on-one appraisal from our supervisors. She felt that our campus does a great job in recognition. The analysis of the interview is that our campus tries new strategies for failing students, provides teachers with resource trainings, and has a great program for new teachers. The fifth stage of the Gibbs cycle is the conclusion of the interview would be that the first-year teachers need more support. They need to be aware of the campus vision and how it should be implemented every day. The last stage of the Gibbs cycle is the action plan. I would have asked Mrs. Powers if she's ever been told the campus vision or has ever saw it posted in the school. The fourth interview was with Mrs. Hunter. She is a biology teacher and has her master's in educational leadership with an emphasis in special education. She works as an administrator on our campus when one of our administrators are out. She has been teaching for 6 years. My feelings about the interview with Mrs. Hunter is that she looks at the campus as a whole. She was genuine and honest with all of her answers. The evaluation was that the campus is good at acknowledgement, at department meetings and faculty meetings. The campus is vocal, vigilant, and visible. The school uses flyers, newsletters, testing, star catchers, and Remind 101. The analysis is that each department does a great job at potlucks, lunches together, which improves the campus morale. The conclusion of Mrs. Hunter's interview is that we have an excellent sense of teaming, but it could improve. Working together with different contents and making the campus one team, one goal would help with the campus vision. The last stage of the Gibbs cycle is the action plan. The only thing I would change in her interview is asking if she was a principal or a full-time campus administrator, would she keep the same campus vision? The fifth and last interview was Mr. Basham. He is acting administrator in the morning of school and teaches 2 classes in the afternoon. He just completed his Master's of Educational Leadership this year. He has taught business communication for 9 years. My campus does a great job, and my feelings over the interview are that he seemed frustrated about our campus vision. He doesn't think that the campus does a great job of implementing the campus vision. Mr. Basham mentioned we start off strong as one team, one goal, but we do not follow through. The evaluation of the interview was that the campus vision is not consistent. He stated we started off recognizing Teachers of the Month, posting spotlight teachers, pictures on our campus bulletin board, and identifying teachers on the website. But the school did not keep up with it. The analysis is that the Foundations Committee is the backbone of maintaining and making changes to the campus vision. Making sure we stay as one team, one goal. Mr. Basham said that the committee used the failures as a learning experience with lunch detentions. The committee assessed and reevaluated the campus vision in weekly meetings. The conclusion of the interview is that the campus has a lot of improvement maintaining the campus vision. The school does a great job with morale using several different incentives, but doesn't follow through with all of the campus acknowledgments put into place. The last stage of the Gibbs cycle is the action plan. I would have asked Mr. Basham one more question. Do you think it is the administrator's accountability that the campus vision is not being implemented? This completes the Gibbs cycle reflection for each of my interviews. I really enjoyed interviewing different staff members and getting a better insight on our campus vision. Thank you.